Welcome to the first ever Black Dads Lives podcast, and thank you for watching. The whole point of this podcast is to change the narrative of black dads and paint us in the correct light. Basically, it's just life from our point of view. It's mainly brought to you by myself, Anton, Carlos, Dash, Jason, JV and Rascal. We're going to have special guests here and there, and it's mostly edited by Aaron. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please subscribe and like the video and share it as much as possible. And if you have any feedback or you want us to cover off anything, please just let me know. Cheers. Bye. So the first thing that we're going to kick off with is the N-word. So I don't know how you man feel about it. I'll go first in it because personally, I used to use it all the time, sing along with all the songs, get me? All the rap music, all the videos, everyone does it, innit? And this and that, and this and that. Get me? You get your white friends that just feel like, oh, when they're with you, but you're listening to the song, you get me join in and do it all with you. But then since this whole Black Lives Matter thing happened, and George got killed, and it just changed my sort of view on it. And now I feel like instead of using that word, I would rather empower other people and use brother instead of dropping it. And instead of dropping the N-bomb. And for me, I think part of that is because obviously my son's 9 now. So I don't want him really to be walking around going, dropping it, or actually, do you get me? Or being called it, or do you know what I mean? So I think that's probably where my thought process has changed with that. I don't even want his friends calling him it. But it might be because where I live is predominantly white. So obviously if his friends are calling him it, then his friends are going to be white. So that could be a reason for it, but I don't know. But what you guys thought?
It's a difficult one because at the end of the day, like, it is a word what I think shouldn't even be used regardless. Like you said, obviously in songs and that, yeah, we're happy to sing along and this and that. But if you remember seeing in Rush Hour when obviously Chris Tucker walks into the store and he's like talking to his boys, like, yeah, what's up, man? N-word. Yeah. And then he's like touching him down. They were happy to greet each other. So obviously you're seeing in that scene, it's like it was empowerment in it. They was happy to use that word. And then Tutu's Jackie Chan comes in and he's like, what's up? My N-word. And then obviously all hell breaks loose. But that's how we treat this word in our society. Do you know what I mean? It's okay for us to say it, but if anyone else says it, it's a problem. So to me, I think it should be a problem regardless. Like, no one else should be able to say it. We shouldn't even say it. Do you know what I mean? It was a derogatory term that was used to put us down. Okay, set people are trying to flip it and twist it and put a positive light on it. But nah, I'm not in that. And then even like in America, especially, you'll hear people who aren't even black, like Hispanics and that, they just say it just naturally, just flows off the tip of the tongue. But like I said, I just think it's a horrible word, man, because obviously if someone's to call it me, or how's going to break loose, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't even expect it. I don't even want my child to be saying it. Do you know what I mean?
Or being called it.
Or definitely not being called it, do you know what I mean? Because obviously, I even remember when I was young, obviously, I thought I could like rhyme back in the day, and I was just like, obviously, I was like about 4 or something. I was there rhyming, and I was trying to rhyme something with bigger, so I was like, yeah, bigger, jigger, figure, digger, and then I said nigger, and one of my aunties looked at me and was like, do you know what that word means? And I was like, no, and that's the first time, obviously, I got explained, like, I shouldn't be saying it. Obviously, a couple of my cousins had my back there and say, oh, he's just trying to rhyme. Obviously, I was afraid of getting beats, but I remember that clearly. So even from then, I knew, right, you don't say that word, do you know what I mean? So I can't say it around my own family, then I shouldn't really be saying it regardless. So it's one of them.
When you two got
I don't really use it in general. For me, the only time it's really used in any context that I'm in is gangster rap. If I'm not listening to any old school gangster rap, I don't really hear or want to hear the word. I only accept it in those because it's obviously different in those times. I feel anyway, in my opinion. In those times it's different, it's more accepted. It's come away from that. You don't really I don't really hear it in everyday conversation, but then again, I'm not generally around. I'm usually in work anyway. No one in work is ever going to say that to me. And if anyone said that to me in work, then no. So, well, I'm the only black guy in work, so.
See, so that's why you're not going to hear it in work, though.
Yeah, I know.
Because
so,
if you think
I'm
about it, like,
in the place of work.
none of your boys in work, like your white boys, going to come up to you and go, yes, Carlos, yes, my nigga. Because
No. But in work, when you're in work, even your black boys shouldn't be coming up to you and saying,
do you know what I mean? There's a certain professionalism about.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I'm in work, if there is a group of black people who I chill with or hang out with, whatever, anyhow, any of them are using the N-word in a professional environment, bro, I've got to lock it down, bro. It's mad. It's absolute madness, bro. Sorry, Carlos, go on.
That's fine, because that's all I'm saying is, like, I'm not really in, like, when we were small, like, I used to think, it's cool to say that, but that's obviously the gangster rap influence. But I feel like we're all grown now. We've grown out of that phase. So for me now, that phase, I don't expect to hear it, and I don't particularly want to hear it now. That's where I'm at with it.
All you mother effers, yeah? As far as I'm concerned, right, you're all three are making me look bad because I use the word, right? But I don't. It's a very particular time when I use the word.
Go on.
Either when I no.
Go on.
And I'm not saying. Listen, as Anton wants him to do, yeah. Let me preface this, yeah. So let me preface this with: I understand. I agree with all three. I think the use of the N-word is wrong, and I shouldn't use it. I agree, right? Because no one could ever call me that word. You ain't in like one of my close boys, bro. Trust me. Like,
Yo, I'm gonna use it all the time now.
no one could ever use it. No one could ever use that word in one of my close boys, bro. Like, not even say it in a rap. I don't give a crap if you can't say it. Right? But I use it, and I use it like when I'm pissed off. Like, I just scream the word. Like, when I'm amongst people who I'm really close with, like.
What, in a Chris Rock voice?
Yo. Oh, lagging.
Or fam.
Yo,
But,
now what's going on there? Sorry, that was a bit lagging. Nah, that's trying to.
Nah, you.
You.
Yeah.
Or is it just my internet that's going on crazy?
Sorry.
No, man's on dial-up, bro.
Dial-up talk.
man's on dial-up, bro. Yo, it's something to the phone like.
Nah. The house line started ringing, innit?
Yeah, exactly. But back to it. I would never have called my father like, or even said it around my dad.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I would never said it in his presence.
If you wouldn't say it around your dad, then
it's true.
why say it in general? That's what I was just.
It's
that's
true.
What
It's true. It's
before,
true.
Like, like who you are is who you are, regardless of who you're around. Do you know what I mean? So
no, I'm two different people, bro. Like there's Jason that my grandma sees.
Yeah.
Nah. Everybody has a separate grandma person. That don't mean nothing. Everybody has a separate grandma person.
Yeah.
Go to grandma mode, regardless, innit?
Yeah, trust me, bro.
Standard.
Take all the bass out your voice.
Standard. When you walk into your grandparents' house, it's like you have just a little halo just appears above your head. And it's like you just float.
Oh yeah, facts.
Not my Jonas. Not my Jonas.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, trust me, bro. Say it. When your mum goes there about a badness, your grandma don't believe it. No. Could never be my Jason. Like, no, grandma. I would never do that. Oh, man.
Yeah, but like I said, who you are is who you are. So I think like you have to hold that. So if you're gonna be saying that around everyone else, then say that in front of your parents as well. Do you know what I mean? Say in front of your boys, say in front of your missus, that who you are is who you are. Unless you're just a fraud, innit? You're just blagging yourself.
Alright, chill out, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Due to my dial-up, yeah, I feel like I just missed a piece of this. So basically,
Listen, Carlos, you just missed Josh calling me a fraud.
no, I got that. And
Oh, you got that as well. Yeah.
yeah, I got that, and that sort of, yeah, part of that makes sense. But it depends on what you're saying, did it?
Nah, but it's no, but it's not. Because I think what Josh is saying, I get the underlying point of what he's making, but it's different because you do have different personas for which
obviously.
in the world, innit?
Yeah, in front of your friends' persona.
Yeah.
In awe, I think they have to like or start to like marry up. They can't be like completely different.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
yourself short. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the same breath, yeah, you would probably swear with your friends willy-nilly, but then you won't swear willy-nilly in front of your parents, or you get me?
It's just a respect thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a respect thing as well. So I get what you're saying, Dash, because it's the same, like, yeah, with the N-bomb, because if you're not going to drop it in front of your parents, and why would you drop it in front of your friends? But why would you swear? It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I say with me, I don't really, like I said, I don't really swear. I don't think anyway. But like I said, like if I do, I do. But I don't try and like hold back in terms of like who I actually am, because like I said, I am who I am. So even in front of my parents and that, like I'm not just gonna try and like blag them up and act like I'm some angel or some saint. Do you know what I mean? Like again, it's like the expectations that you should have. Like even with my child, I'll be like, no, I want you to communicate. And do you know what I mean? Like if you're getting like racially abused or anything along those lines, if you want to swear in front of me, swear in front of me. But I'd rather know what he's actually doing and what he's actually saying than having some fake persona of him, me thinking he's good and he's up to badness or going out calling everyone a nigger. Do you know what I mean? This and that. I don't want that. Do you know what I mean? I want to be able to know who he actually is. Do you know what I mean? And my parents, I want my parents to know who I actually am. So they're not under any form of illusions if anything like happened, or if I was to get in trouble, or I was to like become a millionaire, like nothing is going to be a surprise to them. Do you know what I mean? But that's that level of communication that you do have.
I agree with that, but I think as far as I'm concerned, like my mum, my wife know who I am. Yeah. Like they know the core values, they know me as a person, they know there's nothing that's gonna come out of the woodworks, innit? Like but there's nothing gonna come out of the woodworks, bro. There's nothing I mean, I hope so. We'll see.
As long as there's no little Jasons, you know, as long as there's no little Jasons.
Listen, yeah, exactly. Listen, nothing's gonna come out of the woodwork here. I'm calling it out. My mum knows who I am. I am me, right? But I think like the language that I use in regards to when I'm with friends and with people is different, but I don't think that's a reflection upon me as a person. I think that the core values, I'm still the same guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mum knows who I am. My wife knows who I am. Before this conversation, I called all of these the N-word, yeah? But I get what you're saying. I get it completely, bro. And I think as part of me, it is something that I do need to work on and just dropping it all together. But as I said, guys, you know, give me props, man. I've started using it less. And let's also not forget that Carlos chose to fucking say the phrase gangster rap like a Karen 3 times.
Yo.
That's what it is. Rap's changed from what it used to be.
Yo.
Has it not? It's not the same.
No, it has changed, you know, Carlos, but they're still dropping it in. They're still dropping the N-bomb. And I think it's because you was like, gangster rap.
Gangster rap.
Youngster rap.
I'm with it.
Exactly. Yo, listen. Carlos sounds like a goddamn Karen. Back in the day when I used to listen to my gangster rap.
You guys are gangster rap, you know.
So in regards to gangster rap though, so how do you guys feel now, yeah? As similar to what Anton said, you listen to your gangster rap, you're with your mate, for argument's sake, let's just call him, I don't know, Tom. We all know what Tom looks like.
We all know what Tom looks like. Yeah.
I'm joking.
No, Jason, no. You're saying you're joking, but you're joking, not joking, because basically we all know what Tom looks like. So
we all know who Tom is, bro. We know who Tom is. Tom's the guy who likes a little bit of DMX. Yeah. Likes a little, and he appreciates a little bit of Snoop Dogg. Yeah. And you're with him together in Carlos's Red Clio back in 2006. Yeah. And song comes on and Tom is rapping along, you're rapping along, Tom don't bleep out the N-word.
What talking about?
What happens in that situation?
You check him.
You check him. You check him. You have to check him.
Because at that point,
you have to check him.
You both sat
you know
there.
what, yeah? I'll tell you what it is. If Tom doesn't even hesitate to say it, you know what I mean? That is a problem.
Yeah, problem.
If he ain't looking at you before he says that.
Yeah. And you can see him breathe open his mind, and like, yo, do I say it? Do I not? Do I say it? Yeah. Big facts.
Now, but do you know what though, John? Dash. The flip side to that, is then if he's looking at you in your eye, and then he's like, and then he says it, that's like he's taunting you, innit? Whereas if he was in a flow and he was just like.
Just slip on his tongue, you're all on tongue.
And he slipped out and he was like, oh. And then it was like, oh. And then looked at you afterwards.
Well, he's getting kicked out the car.
Yeah, big facts. I've got a neighbour now, he's cool, he's so cool with me, I consider him a friend, right? And he said the N-word, bro.
What, you heard him singing in the shower?
Nah, bro, he was talking to me, like...
What?
And he didn't call me, right? Basically, let me tell you the story, right? Okay. Yo, he used the P word. Yeah, right? And I said, yo, don't ever say that word, like that to me is racist. Nah, it's not. Whatever. I said, yo, listen, if you say the P word, you will definitely say the N word. So he burst out laughing now, saying, yo, I've got a black friend, yo, we call him nigger. I said, yo, listen, if you ever say that word around me, I will knock you out. Trust me, never say it again. Never say it again. And I said, yo, and you fucking tell me who this black friend is who's called.
No.
You tell me who this confused brother is. Because I need
mad.
Yo.
Wow.
Do you know what? Sorry, I know it's changing subject, and it was back when before lockdown, whatever. That reminds me that time with the two Man City players, Man City footballers, where
Jordan's boys, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Was it Bernardo Silva?
Yeah, Bernardo. Yeah.
Was it Mendy?
And Mendy,
yeah. And he called, and he was making all black jokes towards Mendy now, and everyone was like, because this was mad for me because obviously it was before the whole Black Lives Matter kicked off and all that, so. People's response to that then and their response to it now would be completely different.
100%.
Like back then, everyone was like, "Oh, but it's all right because the friends." So if Mendy is happy to accept it, then no one can say anything to Bernardo. And why did black people get offended by it? And I'm thinking because you're being racist to him.
Well, like racist, isn't it?
So does that mean now, because we've all got friends in different race groups, that none of you guys make racist jokes on them and they don't make them back on you?
Black people can't be racist. They can be prejudiced, but not racist. Let me just put that out there.
Right.
We're not in no position of power.
No, I hear that. So for example now, let's say your boy, you got key brethren, unless you got a key white friend in it, or Muslim friend, or anything, and they make a little joke on you about eating chicken or some shit. Like there's a level in it, like where you will go, and like you little jabs in it. But if man ever because man says I've got friends I make jokes with, they make jokes on me in it, it's cool in it. But there's a level that you can go to. Like, for example, if a man ever turned around to me and said, yo, do you know your dad?
It's like love a day.
Yeah, like that Marcus Rashford thing.
There you go. Something's got me laughed off, bro.
Nah, that was mad though. That was just mad disrespectful. And that's another reason why I'm doing this podcast now, because black people, black dads, yeah, we get painted with such a bad brush. Everyone thinks that we got this got such a bad name. Everyone thinks that just they
Anton, great point. So let me ask you three, yeah, because you man, obviously no, I ain't got no you yet. Touch wood, innit? Pray for me one day, yeah. But let me ask you, man, yeah. Alright, you three as black dads, yeah. And from what I see, right, you three are very good black dads, innit? Like you, honestly, genuinely are you what I imagine a good black dad should be in it, right? Let me ask you three in it, yeah. Do any of you actually know your fucking kids?
What do you mean? Obviously.
Have you ever met him?
Nah, never met him.
See, knew it. See, man was right.
Never met him.
Yeah.
Guys, that, you know, this is why. But you know what though? People watch this, yeah, and think that you're being serious.
Yeah. And that's a scary thing, bro. That's a scary thing.
Madness. That's what's mad. People think that you're being serious.
But the thing is, yeah, I'm gonna touch upon something now. It's just the way society has been built up for us as black people. So, okay, they're saying, yeah, fair enough. Do you know your dad? But what you have to remember is how society has been geared up in terms of the generation before us. They haven't been able, not everyone has been able to get a good job or get jobs full stop. So what people have had to do is play the system to make it benefit them. So a lot of black people
used to claim
and used to say there was like a single parent in order to get some money. Because at the end of the day, due to the systematic racism, we weren't getting any jobs. Do you know what I mean? So on paper, statistics will say, oh, a black dad may not necessarily be about, but
it was about, but just not about on paper.
Exactly. So obviously the stats can be manipulated to any way that you want.
Big facts. Big facts.
So they're fully out saying, oh yeah, black dads ain't about. Yo, a lot of black dads are about fully. Do you know what I mean? But that's just how the system works, and it hasn't been in our favour for a long time. So obviously we have to do what we've got to do. Do you know what I mean?
Don't get wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying every black dad's about, because obviously even from me being in
not every white dad's about.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at you jumping on me. I'm just saying, that all I'm saying.
And Asian dads as well, in it, fucking from everyone, all of them, yeah.
This guy, you know, right? All I'm saying, is not every, person's dad's about, innit? Especially black people, white people, Asian people. But all I'm saying is, let's focus on black people, There are still single parents or parents that split up, and the youth's there. Do you know what I mean? And the dad's mum and dad don't live together. But then you still know that as a black person, and a black man, they're still wanting to discipline their child anyway, full stop.
Yeah, fully.
It's like with me, if I spoke with my kid's mum, do you think that makes me that I'm going to stop being their dad? Or that I'm going to disappear somewhere? Nah. Every time I see them, that's it, they're getting told, do you know what I mean? And I'm going to make sure that they get that learn the good lessons and learn the proper lessons. Like my son, he came home the other day from school. Obviously just gone back in it. And he gets excited because he's talking about, obviously now, because black people are priority, talking about Martin Luther King and then things there. And don't get me wrong, and in Hull, they're talking about William Wilberforce, who I don't get on with. Do you know what I mean? Because the narrative that they tell him down here is that basically William Wilberforce, he stopped slavery, innit? And that's why they celebrate him in Hull. So Tyler was trying to tell me, and I was like, I don't think he did it by himself, Tyler. I don't think that all the slaves just like, we'll be slaves until William saves us. I don't think that's how it happened. And I was like, Tyler. And then he's telling me about Martin Luther King. And don't get me wrong, I think that's important to know. It's part of history. Slavery is a part of our history. But I said, that's not where it started though, you know. I said, do you know that black people, we started off as kings and queens?
There you go.
And he was like, what? Really? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Africa was the richest country in the world, the richest continent. Was it? Yeah. That's where all the oil was. That's what all the gold was, all diamonds. You know what I mean? So it's to me, really, that's the way I see it now. For me, I'm trying to teach Tyler the right way. Do you know what I mean? And his true history. Don't get wrong.
They'll never tell us in school, man.
Slavery.
But then that's what I'm saying. Obviously, we've had discussions saying when it comes to like my son going to school and being in history lessons, it's one of them. Like I do anticipate or I do aim to. I'm gonna take him out like Black history lessons because I don't want them to be teaching my child about any Black history. So fully, I'm gonna be telling the school, nah, I don't want him to. He can learn everything else, but I'm pulling him out for that part because obviously they think Black history starts from slavery.
Martin Luther King, bro.
It starts from slavery, and they'll say, yeah, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and that's about it. Do you know what I mean? They ain't touching up on anything else like you just said. So I've said, like, I don't personally want him to be in those lessons, and that's something that we've discussed as a family, saying, no, we can't be having that. Like, regardless, like, if we're going to teach him, we're going to teach him that. Like, I don't need some watered down, sugar-coated, fake bougie version of it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and do you know what? I wish I started sooner. Because now you could teach him and show them and even teach him now. Don't even take them out the lessons. Let them be in that lesson, yeah? So that when the teacher then starts to try to tell them about Martin Luther King, they can go, well, miss, you missed out a big chunk of our history. Let me tell you where it started.
Nah, but I heard that. But then what you have to look at is, I'm not sure about your schools and whatnot, but again, we are the minority. And I remember when we was touching up and how I felt like when they were speaking about certain things, do you know what I mean? When the N-word did come up in school, people like turning around and looking at me because I was the only Black one in the class. Do you know what I mean? And just I felt like it was my fault that slavery happened in those lessons. So
what do you mean? So did the N-word get dropped to you in school?
Not to school, I mean, like, you know, in the history lesson. And they're saying,
yeah. Or when they're talking about slavery.
Yeah, slavery and that. Do you know what I mean? They're talking about slavery and this and that. And like I was saying, like when you could see the N-word or something like that in the book, because it was in the books. Do you know what I mean? People, like I said, were looking around like this is the word, isn't it? Like no one could, obviously no one said it, but do you know what I mean? It's just how you actually felt at that very moment in time. So obviously I remember those feelings, do you know what I mean? So in reality, yeah, my son's probably more than likely going to be the minority, one of a few Black people in the school, depending on what school he actually does go. Yeah. But like, why? Like I'm gonna put. I feel like putting him out because why would I want to subject him to that? And like I said, we've discussed that like a lot about how we want to raise our child. You know what I mean? So it's something that has been touched on. And like I said, I can't really see me because I don't really see it changing that much. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, all this Black Lives Matter and this and that, but I said it keeps them going around in circles. You know what I mean? Obviously, this time it did feel like it was something different, but it's like, obviously, nothing has been done before. No one really knows necessarily what they're going to do to make it go to the next level. And do you know what I mean? Like, how do you take it forward after that? Like, is society really going to change with us being a minority? Maybe, but then I said it might just be going back to it being more covert. Do you know what I mean? That people, it has changed in society across the board. People aren't necessarily openly racist to you nowadays, to your face. Obviously, you do get bad ones here, but obviously it's more systematic now. Do you know what I mean? Regardless, so it's a difficult one.
I'm with you, man. I agree. I get what you're saying completely, bro. I don't think it is gonna change. I don't see how it can change. Like, unless they tear the system down, like the change that would need to be brought for us all to be treated equally is just too huge. Like, I don't think they don't want to. Let's get that straight. Like, they don't want to, yeah. And even if they wanted to, bro, there's too much work in it. Fuck it, let's leave it. They've been that way. It's been that way the rest of it is forever. Let's continue to do it, bro. But it's mad though because I was watching a documentary. It must have been, I can't remember the name of it now. It was on Netflix. And it was talking about the same things that are going on today, like going on back then. And this was like 50, 60 years ago. Like, yeah, Black people get out and vote. It's powerful. Like, we need change, blah, 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 blah. And it's mad to watch it and see the exact same things going on today, bro. Like, in America, when you look at it, bro, Donald Trump in charge is a mad thing, bro. It's a mad thing. It's a mad. I genuinely can't fathom how the Americans allowed this to happen. And now you're saying, "Oh, let's go out and vote and change." And I'm looking at it from the outside in, like, realistically, bro. Like, we say, all right, racism is now it still exists, but they conceal it more. But you've got man like Donald Trump in an office here who is, in my opinion, bro, he's openly racist, bro. Like, you see in just this weekend now, those police officers got killed in hospital or whatever, and apparently it was a Black Lives Matter protester who did it. And straight away, Donny's on Twitter talking about, yo, hashtag Blue Lives Matter. Yo, we need to catch these animals and kill them. And what? Bro, listen, that is.
Yo, and then, do you know when that white teenager shot two protesters and killed him? Then my mum was defending them as well. Yeah. That's just Donald Trump.
He was probably scared of some shit. He's like, oh yeah, it's probably attacked, and he was scared. It's madness,
yeah, that's the narrative what they play all the time.
Yeah.
Black person is like, oh, this gangster, this folk who smoked a spliff when he was 3 years old. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. They're bringing all the things up in the past.
It's like,
if it's the opposite way around, it's like, oh, he's a good boy. Like, he got bullied or something like that.
Two things, right? One, have you, man, ever, like, been in a work environment, when you're dealing with someone in work who's not necessarily black, right, is white, innit? And you felt like a grievance here, but you don't want to say anything because you know if you say anything, you're going to come across as aggressive. Like, no matter like how you phrase it, like, you think, there's no way I, as a black man, can stand up for myself and say anything because it's going to get spun and boom, I'm aggressive. You ever had that feeling?
Yo, it's not only work, Jason. I get that feeling. You could get that feeling, walking in a supermarket and a white woman would have beef with you, and you can't beef with her because if you say anything to her, then she'll just turn around and make you look like the aggressive black man anyway. It's one of them where you gotta allow it. So for me, I'll say that situation happens in life in most situations.
Trust me.
Yeah. And then the other thing, is similar to what you just said, in like walking past like white people on the street. And like, when I back in, I don't know, before I became such an asshole, if I'm walking past white people on the street, like, I'd feel conscious about me walking past them, like how they're going to feel about me walking past them.
I used to cross the road. Before they cross the road, I'd be mad. I'm like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I used to do a thing like whenever I seen white people come into the car, like I used to lock my doors too. Do you know what I mean?
That's how it feels.
Do you know what I mean? I used to lock my doors quick because that's how I was treated. Do you know what I mean? But I used to cross the road before they crossed the road just so that they didn't feel bad. And like, why should I have to do that?
I can't lie though. That's true, but that depends on the people in it. So like, if it was a woman or a couple of women, then I'll feel that way. But if it was just a couple of men, then allow it. White man, allow it. You just need to cross the road.
Obviously,
allow it. It's one of them, innit? If you got anything.
Like, why should I think when I'm walking past somebody, I better cross the road because they're probably going to get intimidated or think I'm going to try and rob them or some shit, bro. That's mad.
It happened to me when I went in the other day. Do you know what I mean? And I won't mind. But then I was telling people in work, because obviously the people I work with are predominantly white. So I was telling them in work, well, actually, I say that, I'm the only black guy. So I was telling them in work about it. And then they was like, oh, no, you're just paranoid. But basically, I was running down Main Street, that has shop on it, literally one of them Sainsbury's local shops on the corner. People are walking up and down this woman's street constantly. So I'm jogging, I'm running, And bearing in mind now, I got my headphones on, the big ones that go over. So you can see that I'm not like I'm doing something, do you know what I mean? I'm sweating. And then I stopped and like, catching my breath, just panicking. And then, you just can feel someone just staring at you. I just looked, and Karen must have stood there at her blinds like that at the window. And I was like what? What? And I thought, oh. And then literally, just simply because I could not be asked, I was like, allow it. And just started running again, do you know what I mean? But 100%, and I was like, oh yeah, she probably just didn't want you stopping outside her house. Yeah, because
So
I'm black.
fucking what? Yeah.
That's why. Because there's no people, there's crackheads and stuff that probably walking past their house, yeah. Seriously, because there's some high-rise flats near there, yeah. Probably crackheads and stuff walking past their house, and Karen won't bat an eyelid. But because I stopped, yeah, to catch a breath, he's thinking, what's he doing? And I wouldn't mind, I purposely, yeah, there was 2 cars parked up, and I purposely stopped between both of them, do you know, like the back and the start at the beginning of both.
Yeah.
But like, they couldn't think I was like trying to rob the car or anything, do you know what I mean? It's one of them, it's weird.
I thought hard about that. Stop here.
That's true, you do though, innit? You do, man. It's mad that you even have to think, have these thoughts, bro. Absolutely mad.
That's
Like,
great.
Have you man ever on you know, all this Black Lives Matter when I was on Facebook and that? How many man did you man have to delete because they came out of the woodwork, bro?
I just had to sign off, you know. I thought, this is draining. Like, I'm facing a battle on like 10 fronts, not even just the police and that. Like, you everyday people.
Yeah, mad, innit?
Like,
You know-
I don't know. I was seeing like statuses, like, just say something happened in somewhere else in the world. And I was like, oh, police brutality happening in this country, but you don't hear anything about it. I'm thinking, man, no one's having, there's not no competition. We don't want this problem. You can have the problem.
Yeah.
We didn't ask for this. Do you know what I mean?
Big
We
facts.
did not ask for this.
Yeah, but
Like,
they're them all lives matter people, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Them they're the all lives matters, man.
Yeah.
And do you know what? They're the ones, yeah, because I can't lie, I don't have Facebook in it. I can't be bothered with all that. And Twitter, don't have Twitter either, because Twitter for me, yeah, is just one of them things where people can just create an account in 10 seconds, yeah, and then just type rubbish on there, just type 8 on it. Do you know what I mean? No point, no picture, anything. Nah, bun that. So I've not got that either. I have Instagram, yeah, and Snapchat. So for me, I didn't even have to delete anybody. But the one thing that I did get, yeah, and I'll share it, is one of my friends went and sent me a screenshot of someone else who I used to work with, who is on my Instagram, but obviously he posted on his Facebook, innit, or liked on his Facebook. And it's something what one of his friends put on their status, and he liked it and commented loads of laughing face on it. And it was something like, oh, what's going on with the year 2020? Starts off with a virus, something else, and now you've got, because it was near the protest, and now you've got guerrillas protesting. He goes, what is this, a game of Jumanji? And it was all laughing at it, and I was like, oh. So I got sent it, because I know this kid, he's not a friend of mine, he's just an associate, he's just somebody that, do you know what I mean, that I worked with for a bit. But I literally had the screenshot, I just forwarded it straight to him. I said, oh, so this is you then, yeah.
what did he say?
Yo, when I tell you the
No response.
backtracking that my guy did was ridiculous.
Fucking funny.
Yeah, trust me, the Facebook apologies, that he put an apology on Facebook. He even told him I'm not on Facebook. Said I went and said it in the message. I said, yeah, is this you? I said, I'm not on Facebook, and I got sent this. So just so you know, this is how you're perceived in it. I said, okay, but now I know, and that's what I put to him. And he must, because I'm not even replying back to him up to this day, but he must sent me about 10 messages in a row. Do you know what I mean? Because he was shitting himself. Like, and he thought I was going to go and do something to him or bother him. And I thought, nah, mate, because it's not even worth me. It's not bothering. I don't care about that. Do you know what I mean? For me, it's more, I know what you're like.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because I'm with you, Jordash, like, on Facebook when it first started, yeah, because it all started around, we were on lockdown, innit? And it's all hashtag Black Lives Matters. Any person, yeah, who I've seen pop up, right, having a fucking issue with the protests, with the marches. Oh yeah, it's maybe lockdown. All right, yeah, blame these guys for the second spike. Yeah. Or anyone who are seeing respond, all lives matters to Black Lives Matters. Anyone who I saw fucking respond with, oh, but he was a criminal. He did X, Y, Z. Anyone, if you fit them 3 criteria, yeah, and you're watching this right now, trust me, you're fucking blocked, bro, and deleted, fam. I ain't got no time for that energy in my life, bro. It's mad. Like, it was mad. Like, I'm seeing like people who I consider friends, bro. Like, you just aren't getting it, right? And I do not have the energy, the patience, right, to be educating these people on what Black Lives Matter means. Like, I don't have the time, bro. I've got friends. I'm not saying No. You see that
Google.
picture now with a black girl now. He said, "Yo, when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying Black Lives Matter more. We know that all lives matter, but at the moment in time, I ain't got the fucking time for that, bro. Trust me. You see what's going on, and if you don't, you're naive because you don't want to face it, and you don't want to admit that is the truth."
I've seen the amount of analogies, that I've seen that help explain the whole Black Lives Matter thing, that goes around. For me now, if somebody doesn't really get what the Black Lives Matter is about, it's because they don't want to get what the Black
they don't
Lives
want
Matter
to.
is about. That's why. It's not because there's no reasons why. There's no. Just Google it. It's all over the place. If you Google it now, they'll probably come up with the one where it's got the three houses. You get me? And then they got the guy with the fire truck. Yeah, it's on fire. Yeah. And the guy's putting out, and the other guy goes, "Why are you not putting my house out, Karen?" Because Karen, your house ain't burning down. You get me? I'm sorry, can I just say, the worst thing about the Karen thing, what these guys know is, my mum's called Karen as well, you know. Yes, for that. I was getting burnt for that. But it's just a mad one. But so that whole thing, I said, for me, on socials, what got me with all that when that kicked off was, because I'm only on Instagram, I'll be going on to people like Lewis Hamilton, who would post something. Like even today, when he's got his Justice for Breonna Taylor, and he's wearing his t-shirt. Yeah. People are commenting in there, and I was finding myself at first arguing with people in comments on Instagram.
I thought, what are we doing? Don't feed the trolls, bro. Don't feed the trolls. That's all. I'm a troll myself. Yeah. Don't feed us. Don't feed the trolls, bro. I'm telling you.
No, trust me. I started going into it, with this guy, and then I just sort of went, and it's like I had an epiphany, and it said to Laura, "What am I doing?" But listen, let me just back away from this phone now because I'm arguing with an idiot. You know, I'm actually investing my time into this guy. I thought, nah.
That's the thing, though. I think George is right, bro. You can't argue with these people, man. You can't argue with them. Like, it's mad, that black people saying, all right, look, listen, shit is not equal. We need shit to be equal. Like the most offensive thing in the entire world. It's absolutely mad, bro. My mind genuinely boggles, bro. Like, do you know how many conversations I've had with white people who are trying to genuinely tell me, yo, racism doesn't exist, bro? It's like, what do you mean it doesn't exist, bro? Like, you're mad. It's like, yeah, racism don't exist. All right, it's not as bad over here, is it? The cops don't kill each other. The cops don't kill you over here. Or is that the only form of racism? It's mad. But as you said, like people are willingly naive, to the fact that black people are treated lesser in society. Like, because I think either A, they don't want to admit it because shit, they'd have to do some change, or B, like they don't want to admit it because if they admit there's a problem, then shit, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easier just to pretend it don't exist from complete ignorance.
I think part of it is that, but part of it is it's because it's like you've touched on before, it's systematic. So it's been there that long now that it can't be reset. It's like imagine it's like a game of Monopoly.
You ain't relinquishing the power. You ain't
exactly. But just imagine it's a game of Monopoly, and we've not been able to collect our £200 for 300 years. But now all of a sudden it's or even now, not even now. Let's say, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Now let's say then. Now, you know what? We'll give you a bonus of 10 grand and you can collect your £200. You're still not going to be anywhere near and catch up to society. You're not. You still got two hands tied behind your back. And I think that's what my point is. Like, no matter what happens now, you can't reset. They're not going to go back now and start saying, right, okay, right, let's transfer all the oil back to Africa.
Yeah, well, it's impossible to make it right. That's what I'm saying to you. It's impossible to make it right.
Yeah, so that's what my point is. So, and that's where when everyone's talking about this systematic change, I hope that someone finds a way. But for me, right now, I just can't see it, and I just don't understand how it's going to come around.
As I said, I don't think it can change as a whole, but obviously we can all obviously do our part to make things change. Like obviously, all of us, we are professional people, and let's put it that way. So obviously, it's a case of if you've got the opportunity to give someone an opportunity, then you do that. you've got to do that. Do you know what I mean? That's what you literally can do. Any way you can help out, then yeah. So obviously, if each person's then doing that, obviously it'll help along the way. But overall, like I said, I don't see it as something that's going to be a big major change across the board. But like I said, I just feel like we all got to do a little bit to help, because each little bit will help along the way. Do you know what I mean? So,
no, it's big facts, bro. I think it's one of them things. I think you're right. I think we need to change it as an individual. Like when people say, "Yo, buy black," or like, you know,
yeah, like the Black Pound Day.
Yeah,
That's
man,
good.
it's
That,
like-
you know, yeah. No,
we do need to start investing in our own people in some way. We need to start looking at how we invest in our people. How do we go about getting ownership as
correct. Like I said,
as a black man?
But do you know what though? And this is one thing that really annoys me, because seriously, yeah, I'll even start it myself. There's no consortium or nothing. Like when you actually look, yeah, at what the black community owns, we don't really own nothing.
We don't own football, bro. We don't own anything.
We own barbershops. You get me? We don't own nothing really. If you think about it, that's it really. And even then, barbershop, we don't own barbershops. We rent barbershops.
Then buy
So
those
what I'm
space
talking
off of a man.
So what do we actually own? Like when you talk about billionaire black people, the only ones that you're going to talk about are either going to be like your famous rappers, yeah, or the richest black man. Is he Dr. Dre at the moment?
No,
Do you know what I mean,
don't get it twisted, man. There's a lot of rich African men.
there is, I think there's a lot, but obviously it's like a case
Yeah,
of.
but no, what my point is, I'm not just talking about rich men. Then, yeah, I'm talking about businesses.
Everyday people,
Yeah,
and
so
businesses.
everyday people and these businesses. So you
But
got
then
organisations now, yeah, that are huge, don't you? Do you know what I mean? And what percentage of them are black owned?
That is correct, but like I said,
Why are they not black owned? Like, why?
that's what
Tell
I'm trying
me.
to say. Exactly at the same time, like loans back in the day were given out to, not given out to our people just like that. Okay. To other races, yeah, you can have a loan. You will extend your loan. Do you know what I mean? You have loan on top of loans. Do you know what I mean? It's been hard for us. We cannot just go out there. And obviously, you can do it now. Do you know what I mean? There's ways around it. But like I said, they've had years of doing these things.
Yeah.
Only as of late. So you probably see us come to the fore in, say, 10, 20 years, like benefiting from our generation or our parents' generation. Do you know what I mean? Like, we haven't had the years what other races have had on top of us.
Yeah, like lives.
Yeah, I know, but then
generations,
even when you look at the Asian community, yeah, and just the way that they work and the way that they live and the way that each of their, even their supply chain.
Think about it.
All Asian, though, innit?
Listen.
But this is what the point is, and I'm not I'm saying that's what we need to get to, though, innit?
Yeah, I hear that. But remember, they came out of choice, bro. Our people did not come out of choice regardless. They came out of choice. Obviously, we get our families now who then come from choice. You know what I mean? Like I said, when it's a choice, it's different to being enslaved and being brought to these countries, bro.
Yeah.
Like, completely. Like, like, obviously, we have to do better. We can always do better. Do you know what I mean? And that's up to us as individuals, I can keep on saying, to get into those positions in order to create that generational wealth, to pass it down to our children. However, besides that, then, do you know what I mean? It's up to us to then like make that push, get our foot through, get those loans which people were struggling to get in order to create businesses. They're the things that we need to be doing. But I said, is it going to be easy? No, it's not, but it's up to us to make that happen. I said, we're in a digital age now. Each person, have you seen that Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, people are making money from YouTube and that. You look at a person like KSI, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is other ways to make money nowadays rather than
even like Chunks and Philly. Sorry,
yeah, exactly.
They made it on ITV.
Do you know what I think part of it is, though? Yeah, I think part of it is, right, is that when you come, as Jordan said, yeah, that when we came over here, we didn't come here by choice, yeah. We came over here as slaves to do work or whatever, right? We've always been working. We've always got, like, whether it's not, you know, directly in our generation or in our lifetime, whatever. We've always got this mentality that we are in somewhat like less than, like, and I think as black people, as black men, as black women, as you said, Anton, we need to remember that we were kings and queens, and I think we need to start dreaming again. Like, I think we need to get the hope. That's like when we see man like Storms like doing all the superhero videos and that.
Big video.
Big video, yeah. But that there, and I'm Black Panther, yeah. You get me? Rest in peace, bro.
Yo, trust me.
But it's like them things. They give the young black children hope. You get me?
Mm.
And that's a very powerful thing, bro. For a young black child to look and say, "Yo, I can." Like when you see that, when man like Obama president, bro, he say, "Yo, I can."
Yeah, but
having
you
that
know
mentality, bro, it's going to be a problem.
It's true, and it's that empowerment now, because I was even watching this thing that Akala did, this clip what Akala did, and he was saying that when he goes to Africa and certain parts of Africa and he speaks to them school children and asks them what they want to do, all of them all want to be lawyers and
doctors.
Everything.
Exactly, do you know what I'm saying? So, but then here, and I think that's part of our society, because you get told, like, even when I was in school, I got told that I wasn't going to be successful, that I wasn't going to do anything. Now I'm successful. Now I earn more than what my teachers would earn. But do you know what I mean? Back when I was in school, that's what they told me. I'm not going to be successful.
But then that's what I'm trying to say. When you was in school, how many teachers looked like you?
Big facts.
How many teachers look like you to really be pushing you to doing what they believe you can achieve? Obviously, if you're getting people like us who haven't been brought, well, if you're getting teachers who aren't like us coming into our schools in the areas that we live in these areas because of the system again. In order to get in the good schools, you have to fit in catchment areas. Fitting in the catchment areas, why? Because you have to be earning X amount of money to afford to buy a house in this area, bro. Like, there's a lot of things, like I was saying before, against us. But then, like I said, even in your everyday schools, how many teachers look like you? Not many, because not many of our people were going to university and then becoming teachers. Like I said, hopefully that is all going to start to change, because if you see a person who looks like you and you're telling them you can achieve this, you can achieve that, they probably were telling their own people that. They're not going to necessarily tell you because you don't look like them. You probably look like someone who maybe bullied them in school, or, do you know what I mean? Someone they're intimidated of because they've never come across, because there's not many black people in that area. Do you know what I mean? So they're not going to be looking to uplift you. The only people that can uplift us is us.
Us. Yeah, big facts.
No, it's true, that. It's true.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, obviously, we need our people in more of those positions. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be able to be like, identify with them and relate to them. Like, the more you can relate to, especially a child, do you know what I mean? Like, the more profound the effects can actually be. If you can't relate to a child, you ain't going to listen to, as you said before, Tom. Imagine Tom telling you something, you'd be like, what do you know about my life? The younger you are, especially around the teenage age as well. You're not hearing it from Tom. Do you know what I mean? You're hearing it from Tom.
Big facts, man. You're right. I would have respected a message 10 times more coming from a teacher who looked like me than fucking, I don't know, Mr. Watkins.
You know what, though? Nah, you know what, though? You, man, yeah. Obviously, I don't know Mr. Watkins in it, so I don't find his job. You, man, yeah. Obviously, yeah. You hit the nail on the head, because really, for me, that happened to me in my school, innit? So I remember there was 2 black people in my teachers, yeah, and in those lessons were the ones that I excelled in. So one of Miss Marshall, she was in IT. IT is one of the things that everyone probably excelled in anyway. It's IT, innit? Computers came out, was excited. I'm old. But then my other one was science, and what was mad, it was my teacher, and I remember his name, Mr. Nagufa, and he actually turned out he was one of my Uncle John's close friends. You get me? So they actually knew each other, which I didn't know. So it's a good job that I behaved myself in his class. And the only reason why I behaved myself in his class was because in my school was bad, innit? So we used to just rip each other, like take the piss out of each other hard in school. And obviously we walked into my man's class and everyone was just dissing each other. And then Mr. Nagufa just came in and told one guy to shut up. He didn't want to show up, wanted to carry on. And then Mr. Nagufa just ripped into him, innit, and just started burning him. And all of us just sort of went quiet and looked, went, oh. and everyone just started laughing at my man. And then that was it. As soon as he said something, everyone just stopped to listen to him like he was a god. You know what I mean? Because it's like, nah, this guy knows his stuff. But he just knew how to connect with us on that level straight away. Ran a bit of joke with us and went, right, lesson time, kids. You know what I mean? And everyone was sucked in, man. Even the white kids were sucked in.
It's that relatability factor. If that's not there, like I said, you can't engage with the kids.
Big facts.
Right, sorry, guys, because I think it's flowing very well. But I was just looking at the timings there, thinking that we're going on a bit. So it's good combo. So was there anything that I don't want to say before we got off? So obviously I know this is the first one and that.
No, bro. I think on a level, though, I think it's been
insightful.
No, it's been good to sit down and talking to you, Black Kings. Yeah. So I think it's been good to see how the conversation's flown. It's been jokes, there's been serious shit. Like it's been good, bro. It's been good. But I think on the topic of what Jordash just said in regards to in time to come, hopefully there's something in place for generational wealth and whatnot, bro. All I'm saying is, fam, that's on us, bro. That's on us, boys. On us, whatever we need to do, we need to find a way how we can all work together and do something that will hopefully uplift
and empower, man.
Uplift and empower our people. You get me? Like, maybe we won't do it on a video like Stormzy did when we were in the fucking rain outside Grenfell Tower or some shit, but we need to find something like to do as us that we can do, because we can make a change ourselves. You get me? We can impact the ones around us. You never know. Yeah.
And that's one thing that I said, because a few white people I know, to be fair, have come up to me and been saying, you know what's happening? And I said, so what could we do to support? Because I don't know what I can do, but I feel like I need to do something to try and help. And for me, all my response has been is call it out, innit? Yeah. So if you see something now that and you think, actually, something smells fishy about that, or why are they having a conversation, or why are they treating him in a certain way? Say something. You get me? If you see the police pulling over a black guy for no reason, they're searching in the feet, they're roughing him up, say something, film it. You get me?
I've got a friend who hit me the same thing. He hit me up. He's like, "Yo, how do I use my white privilege to help?"
Yo.
I was like, yo, firstly, thank you for fucking acknowledging that you've got white privilege. Well, no, you're right, man. You get some real ones who, you get me, the Caesar problem. Like when I went to the walk in Manchester and I seen the white people there, like, and there was this family, there was a white mum and two white children, and the white mum was like, nah, go over there, get involved, get on your knees. And it was beautiful to see. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not all bad.
No, and it's true. And obviously in Hull, bro, I went to the protest in Hull, innit?
Yeah,
and obviously it's predominantly white people, but when I tell you the turnout was big, and they was backing it as well.
Yeah.
So
that inspired me, man.
Nah. Well, thank you guys, man. I think it was a good little session here. And we'll have to do this again very soon.
For the first one, bro, I think it was good. I think it was very good, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, we'll be able to chop it up.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, still saying you'll never need Rascal, bro.
Rascal.
Exactly, bro. Never need, man.
Nah, that was joke.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Right, okay then.
Right,
thank you then, boys.
Keep up, guys.
Thank you, man. Yeah, you take care, yeah? See you next week.
All right, see.
Yeah, man.
Later on.
All right, in a bit.
In a bit.